Thank you all for joining me and being here right now. My name is Airi J. I am from. Let me turn this down. This is so loud. But I'm from Gary, Indiana, and I started my podcast back up to basically be your internet big sister, to guide you right from wrong, steer you in the right direction, and just overall be a light to those that may be in a dark place. So, first things first, with that being said, I'm not sure if I have any viewers right now that have been rocking with me for a minute, but welcome back. I know I took a long 6-7 year hiatus, but I'm back at it now. For those who don't know me, welcome. Again, my name is Airi J. Welcome to Airi Speaks. So, I was supposed to drop this show yesterday, and I apologize. I do owe y'all an explanation, and that is because I have a 5-year-old now. I have a son, and he had some stomach issues. He was bothering him. He didn't feel well, so I had to take care of that first. You know, mommy issues. I mean, not mommy issues, but mommy duties first before I handle everything else. So, with that being said, forgive me, charge it to my head, not my heart. But I am a woman of my word. We back at it with the show, and I am here on the bi-weekly basis to just check in and again be your internet big sister and just have those conversations that nobody else may have had with you, or the conversations people don't want to have with you. So today we're gonna keep it light. I'm gonna do like a synopsis kind of episode today. First things first, the theme of the show today is 30-4-30. I wrote down 30 lessons that I have learned in the last 10 years. So between the age 20 and 30 is the lessons that I've learned that I wrote down, basically 3 lessons for each age, and I'm trying to hit a target audience of everybody from the younger 20s and the college kids to the elders. You can teach an old dog a new trick. I am a firm believer of that for sure. Before we move on to getting into those 30 reasons, I have to bring up the artist of the day. So when I started this show initially back in 2017, it was basically a show where I only played music from undercard or underground artists. So it has evolved because I've gotten reviews. People want to hear mainstream, and I understand that. So I started adding mainstream artists and songs to my playlist and making the artist of the week more of a spotlight segment. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the artist of the week. Hailing from my hometown of Gary, Indiana, and currently operating out of Indianapolis, Indiana right now, we have a triple threat. He is a creative, an engineer, as well as a producer. The Divine Nine is all in his mind as well as in his rhymes. It sounds like kickback stoner vibes. And that's bars. But congratulations to no other than my bro, Krisco Beatz. Woo! Yeah. I'm in the room by myself, but I gotta clap it up for my bro. Thank you for being supportive of my show and always being there with me. Thank you for being a light when I didn't have a light. And again, thank you for the support, because this man wrote me a whole song, produced it, and engineered it geared towards this show in like 2-3 days. And that is amazing to me. So without further ado, we're actually going to go ahead and get into the topic song of the day by the artist of the week. It's called Friday Flow. He literally wrote it for this show in particular, because the overall theme, even though the name of the show is 30-4-30, the overall theme is change and transformation. And I feel like I've went through a lot of that between 20 and 30. You'd be surprised a lot of people don't. You'd really be surprised. And I know I was flabbergasted. Flabbers were totally gasted when I realized not everyone grows. So again, I'm just trying to be the internet big sister and guide you on this path of life, and just give you the tea that nobody else want to spill, basically. So we're gonna get into Friday Flow. We're gonna listen to the whole song and go from there. Let's see. I hope y'all can hear it the whole time. I can feel it in the air. Damn, it must be fall again. Reminiscing about them days I was cooling with my friends. Purple's eye, low-key got me faded. Bathroom getting hated. Seems so far. Am I getting jaded? Memories getting hated. Oh, why start? Feel like going crazy. Niggas try to play. I play my part. Yo, motherfuckers down and still they try to stay. And that's what I said, kickback stoner music to the max, bro. Don't let it phase me. Rolling up 3-5, a nigga feel like Katie. Niggas turning into actors, how they switching up a role. In the day they flex for beauties, in the night act like they bold. Niggas from long bows, they don't even stretch before they fold. Write my own style. I'm not gonna lie, we are 420 friendly over here. So I don't know if y'all got pendulums or vapes, but I'm cool. Let's hit the road. Why your shit rolled in italics and my wood is rolling bold? Why you lying about it? I'm my nigga, we can smell his lows. Yeah, feel like knowing I can't. So I gotta keep it close in case they go and do the most. But then again, I'm locking in, swerving, culling in. They ask for recipe, try and best me, so they follow trend. You feel it in the air, damn, it must be fall again. Reminiscing about the days I was cooling with my friends. Purple's eye, low-key got me faded. Bathroom getting hated, seems so far. Am I getting jaded? Memories getting hated. So why start? Feel like going crazy. Niggas try to play. I play my part. Yo, motherfuckers down and still they try to stay. And that's what pays me like that. No heart, I'm raving up the face. Don't let it phase me. Rolling up 3-5, a nigga feel like Katie. Period. Thank you again, Krisco Beatz. Shout out to you and congratulations to being the artist of the week. So we're gonna cut this back down. Not trying to wake my kid up either. You feel me? So we're gonna go back into our playlist. And then nothing but the truth. Don't judge me. This is a judgment-free zone. We don't judge here. Like this song is actually a bop, and it actually does mean something. When I heard it, it actually spoke to me. So I get it. But no, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the 34-30. So starting off at age 20, to all my college kids, all my 20-somethings, please listen up. These gems might actually be for you. I'm not sure, but listen. So at the age of 20, the first thing I learned is that, college is really for acquaintances. And I say that because your circle change every semester, or it could change every semester. Like I've seen people have a new best friend every year, all 4 years that they've been in college. And it's weird. But I do say that college is for growth and networking and getting to know who you are away from your family. Like if college is the first time that you got to go off, then I would so use that as an experience to figure out who you are as a person, inside and out. The second thing I learned at the age of 20 is if you left home, do not allow the small minds back home to influence your big decisions. For example, when I was in college, I wanted to travel abroad. And when I say travel abroad, really, it was like Barbados, Ireland, going overseas. And I would have been alone. And I let the fear of certain people in my life get to me to where I didn't do that. And I'm not saying it's a big regret or whatever, because it's not, but it is something I wish I would have moved forward to do. So I feel like if y'all want to do it, do it. Don't let nobody tell you you can't. The third thing I learned at 20 is it's okay to change. It's okay to have a refiner taste around those with a more basic palate. You get what I'm saying? So I know for me, at one point when I came back from college, I had experienced new things. I'm the oldest of three, so I was the first to go off and do something, you know? So when I came back, I was a little different, a little more like cultured. I'll say that. I was a little more cultured. And my family did kind of look at me like, you're not the same Airi J that went off to school. So who is this person? Like, it's normal. You're going to go through it. Don't let nobody deter you from figuring out who you are. And those are the three things I learned at 20. At 21, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I was a wild 21-year-old. I was a little wild, just a tad bit. But at 21, the first thing I learned was to watch your friends, watch your circle. Watch what they post about you, watch how they view you, watch what they say about you, because that'll always tell you who they really are to you. Because you could have the bestest of a friend, and y'all could have 10 years in, and that friendship could have been built on secret hate, jealousy, anything, and you wouldn't even know because you thinking about it like, no, that person wouldn't do me like that. And at 21, I learned that person will do you like that, especially given the chance. So just watch what they post about you. Do they always post you while you live? Do they? And is that the only time they post you? You gotta think about stuff like that. So the second thing I learned when I was 21 is, if you're gonna do wrong the right way. Be smart with your BS. Like, if you know you finna go do some dummy stuff, and you're young, wild, free, it's okay, but it's kind of not okay. But if you're gonna do it, just be smart about it. Like, just don't do dumb stuff the dumb way. Like, just don't get caught type stuff. Like, that's the best advice I can give you. And then the third thing for 21 is party. Go party, but please party responsibly. Be safe, be smart, and know how to act. Like, them just my 3 rules for partying. Like, really know how to party. But go party, go be social, go have fun, but just be safe while doing it. So at 22, I learned that you need to learn yourself drunk, high, and sober. You have to learn yourself in those 3 stages, because you need to know how you would act. You need to know how to conduct yourself under the influence and things like that, because I've been in several situations where law enforcement got involved and people had to sober up real quick that couldn't. Or you outside, like, literally embarrassing yourself, damaging your future, because the electronic footprint is real. It is. And we're in a day and age where that's all people know. That's all job rankings know. Like, if you think that they're not looking at your page, they are. Like, that's just how the way of the world is. The second thing I learned when I was 22 is that love exists and it's not toxic. I experienced toxicity for the first time when I was 22 with my first love. It was really bad. Like, not really bad in a sense of like danger, but like in the sense of self-love. At some point, I really had to look at myself in the mirror and say, you know what? I love myself more than I love him. So with that being said, I need to pick myself up off the ground. Stop acting like a desperate little, I talk to myself in a very harsh tone because I be needing it. So that's just me. But that's just how it was. And the last thing I learned when I was 22 is you really learn what you shouldn't take at that age. And what I mean by that is everything is considered cool when you're young. Like, oh, that's cool, people. Oh, it's cool, bro. That's all right, bro. It wasn't that deep. Like, of course, nothing is that deep, but really, when it is that deep, you gonna look like you just blowing up out of nowhere. when it had been a buildup of things that you weren't speaking on because you trying like everything's just so cool. But no, you really learn what you shouldn't take at 22. Just pay attention to how people really treat you. Really, it probably don't click for real or switch for you until like 24. But pay attention to how people treat you at 22. Because when you do decide to move forward and like grow and nah, you can't treat me like that no more, you got to be mature enough to handle their response, because everybody not gonna be like, hey, my bad, bro, you got it. Some people might actually come at you, so just be ready for that. At 23, the first point is kind of personal for me. So the turning point for me was maturity. At 23, maturity hit me like a semi truck, and I was on a scooter trying to cross the street. Like, literally, maturity hit me that hard. Like, I thought, up until that point, I thought I was growing and healing and getting through things. No, not until maturity smacked my ass, for sure. And at 23, that is when I found out I was pregnant. That's when I got pregnant. So that's really what did it. That was the turning point for me. And that's when I really realized, like, growth is more than a quote. Growth is more than just a quote to be spoken. It's something that you actually work through and continue to do. And that was when I really first started growing. The second thing I learned at 23 was, at a point, you learn people. And around that age, people are either making it, faking it, or breaking it. But regardless, you can't fall for what you see. Because at that age, for me, that's when social media, lifestyle was really getting popular. Everybody was kind of like pretending to be on top and things like that. And just everybody looks like they're progressing, or some people were. Congratulations to them for sure. But some people were faking it. And then there it is. Some people like, I'm behind because so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And that's not fair to you. Run your own race, basically. And the last thing for 23 is growth, change, and evolution within yourself is inevitable. You can stall it, but it's easier when you embrace it and move forward. I had to read that one word for word because I felt like that was something that was a gem dropped when I wrote it on this paper. So I'm going to read that one more time. Growth, change, and evolution is inevitable. You can stall it, but it's easier when you embrace it all and move forward. That's just open-ended. You just going to leave it there. At 24, ooh-wee. 24, after I had my baby, the lessons really started kicking in. Like, to my parents, whether you're a new parent, an older parent, I'm sure everybody can relate. My first lesson for 24 is having a child will really show people's true colors. I have definitely lost friends due to me not wanting to do the same things that I used to do. When I used to be like single and childless and I had a car, job, I'm only worried about myself. Like, of course, I'm outside, I'm having fun, like, we doing it. But I turned into a mom and I put all that stuff down, and it's like, I don't have to still do those exact things to be fun. We can do kid-friendly activities. That's one. Two, when I do want to go out with y'all, I don't want to do the same things that I was doing when we were 21. I don't want to just go get shit-faced and call it a day, like, or go to random strange people's houses for the first time. Don't know who they are, just one person in the group, know one person out the other group, and that's how we all linked up. Like, being young is so wild because you link up with somebody or a group of people in the beginning of the day and y'all gonna ride or die for each other by the nighttime. I swear it's wild. So strange. But I see what the 30 and Up Club was talking about when you in those shoes. So yeah, that was one thing. A lot of people didn't adjust well to me becoming a mom and me growing out of that phase of my life. Everyone is not the same type of parent. Everyone is not the same type of parent, and that was a rude awakening for me, because I honestly thought that being, like, say for instance, you and the people you grew up with, the class you may have graduated with, all grew up with typically kind of like the same upbringing, give or take a few things, but you think that everyone would be equal-minded on certain things. I'll say it like that, but it's not like that at all. It is not like that at all, and it's crazy. It is actually really crazy. What else? Because that was all of these topics are going to be episodes expanded, okay? So don't trip. Like I said, I'm giving brief synopsis here. So after that, for 24, the last lesson I wrote down was I was too blessed to not have to do too much. Like, hold on, what did I write? Oh, okay. So I was blessed enough to not have to do too much for my son the first year of his life. Like, family is a blessing. That was the biggest lesson for me. Definitely the biggest lesson. And that was the first part. I'll say, okay, this is why I need a whiteboard, so I can write it down and break it down so we can all visually see it. That's coming soon, though. Okay, so the first part of this last lesson for 24 is family is such a blessing, especially when you have an active family. I don't know what I would do without my village. With them, my son, he had enough stuff to last the first year and a half of his life. I didn't have to buy much of anything other than the things I personally wanted him to have. I didn't have to buy much. So that's first one. Shout out to my family. That was one of the biggest blessings. So with that being said, the other half of that is it took me a little longer to grasp the concept of being irresponsible as a parent. And what I mean by that is, like, for me as a female, nails done, hair done, everything did. That's really was the first go-to. When you single, you can handle all those things, no questions asked, put yourself first. But when you have a little one, sometimes you definitely have to put them ahead of you. Sometimes you can't drop $200, $300 on a sew-in because baby needs something, and that's okay. You ain't got $200 for a sew-in. All right, get you some nice hair and either learn how to do it yourself, or I'm sure you got a homegirl that's willing to experiment with you. I know me personally, I never in my life thought I'd do my own box braids. Never wanted to. I never wanted to do my own box braids. I do it myself all the time. It don't even matter. If you go to my actual TikTok page, like my profile, and you see the braids I be having, there's an 80% chance I did those myself. So don't tell me what can't be done. I never wanted to really do my own hair because I'm spoiled. My mom's a licensed cosmetologist. Why should I ever have had to do my hair? I never did. So that was something I had to grow into and learn, which is a different episode for a different day. We're going to go ahead and get into 25. So 25, I'm going to go ahead and read this one word for word too. Being a parent doesn't mean stop being yourself. More like grow into yourself. Allow your taste to change, transform your style, and elevate. I say that because a lot of us as parents, moms and dads alike, we get so lost in being a parent that we don't do what we like. I loved my podcast. The first 2 seasons that I made it, even though I was only posting on SoundCloud and I was supposed to post on YouTube, but I was too chicken, definitely scary. So it was just like I was losing the things that I like doing and being a parent and learning my child and being there for him and just doing all of his things. I wasn't doing my things. So as a parent, my advice to you is continue to do your things. You just got to learn balance. That's all it is. Once you catch your balance, you'll be fine. That was the first lesson for 25. The second lesson is the baby stage is so real. And when I say baby stage, I mean family really, 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 friends really, 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 different people really, 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 really mess with you and your child when they are babies. After the baby stage, once they start walking, talking, asking for stuff, getting smart, being, the terrible twos and all of that, a lot of people fall back. You gotta watch that, because not everybody is meant to be around you and your child. And if they fall back once they out the cute, I only want to hold them and take selfies and pictures and stuff phase. Yeah, watch out for that, because people be on that too. The second thing that I learned is dating as a parent is really different. That was one of the first things I've learned. And I will say that I can honestly say I've treated my dating life as an experiment as well as an actual dating life. Like, I've dated online just to see what it was like, to see how people move and act online versus in person. And hold on, y'all, I'm sorry. My Gaga texted me. Okay. She want me to call her. I'll call her when I'm done with the live. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, dating as a parent is real different. Like, I've had people lie to me about not having kids. Like, dude, I clearly said I had a son. It's okay that you have 2 kids. Why lie? But got canceled because of that. Because if you lie about having kids, you lie about anything. It's also good. Don't, as a parent and as a single parent, don't fantasize and just romanticize relationships to be in them. Look for your person that's right for you and your kid or kids. It is a little harder and it takes a little more time, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Don't force somebody that don't like kids to be with you. Don't force somebody that don't like your kids to be with you. It's never good for anybody in the end, especially children. Now for 26, let me go over this one real quick, y'all. Okay, now this is for my ladies, and some of y'all may not agree with me on this, and that's perfectly fine, okay and dandy. I have been disagreed with before, but girl, from a woman's perspective, it's not that I never knew the importance of men. Let's start there. It's not that I did not know the importance of men. I do have a father. I have a stepfather, uncles, cousins, brothers. Like, I have a surplus of men in my life, and I can attest that having them is very much so important. However, when you being told and being shown is 2 totally different things. Like, living on your own as a female is crazy work, because that's when I really realized I don't like taking out the garbage. And I feel like somebody else needs to do that. But that's just like the simple things. But it's so much more that men provide, such as safety and security and just that overall sense of well-being. Just the presence it's appreciated. Shout out to the guys. Thank y'all for just existing. I guess that you can say. The next thing I learned at 26 is all money ain't good money. You can make a lot of money, but if it's causing mental, physical, and spiritual dismay, it's not worth it. It's not worth your peace. It's not worth your mind. Sheesh, the enemy don't want me to get it out. It's not worth your mind. It's not worth your heart. It's not worth your body. I used to work for The post office. It broke my body down. I was 26, 27, feeling like I was 62 to 72. No, like that's not okay. Like I thought I tore my rotator cuff. I thought my shoulder was out of there. No, it's not okay. And they get 18-year-olds and think about it. You start off at 18 and you shoot to come on. Like I had to get about that jam. And that's when I learned the importance of boy jobs versus girl jobs. And that is another episode for another day as well. So moving on. The last one. I also learned that you can't cut everybody off. Now, I know for all of my astrology people out there that pay attention to everybody's sign, if you're trying to figure it out behind the screen, I'm a Libra. So as a Libra, I have a cancel culture about myself. I cut somebody off in a heartbeat. I don't care. Breathe wrong. I dare you. Like, I really don't care. But I did learn you cannot cut everybody off. No, you cannot choose your family. No, you do not technically have to deal with all of your family members. And I'm not telling you to by no means. However, you can't just cut off your mom because y'all had a disagreement. And she disagreed with you for your sake. It don't make sense. Like, grow up. Let's process it. Come on. You can't cut off your best friend just because they sat there and told you the truth. Truth hurts. It happens. Chop it up. You gotta process it. It just happens. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Okay, now we are on 27. We're actually getting to the end of the list kind of quick. Hold on. Let me see. How far are we into the playlist? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn, I missed the mark. I missed my own reference, y'all. That's crazy. But no. Oh, this is my favorite song coming on too by Krisco Beatz, Ninja Way. But we're halfway through the playlist. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm pretty sure everything is gonna time out and pan out the way it's supposed to. I didn't want to be on here longer than an hour because I didn't want to hold nobody up, but I just wanted to drop these gems on people. So we are at 27, and at 27, I learned it is so essential to heal every stage and phase that you've been through, to find out what you left behind in healing, to work through what you needed to heal from. Like, a general example of something we all should do is heal your inner child, teenager, young adult, kid. If whatever stage of life you're in, basically heal that younger self. So right now I'm in my 30s. I'm making sure my 25 to 29-year-old self has been healed, because I did that groundwork and I healed my 20 to 24, my 16 to 19, my inner kid, my inner toddler. Yes, we all have an inner toddler. When we get the zoomies out of nowhere as an adult, when we just wake up and feel like, I'm going to exercise my free will by eating ice cream for breakfast because I can, and I'm an adult. Toddler shit. and that's okay too. But heal all those stages of your life, because that's important. How do you expect to move forward or grow and be in rooms and start cycles that you've never been in and work towards the things that you manifest if you're still holding on to hurt and grief and pain and emotions that are not serving you? Those emotions don't move you forward. They keep you stagnant. So heal through it. It's okay. Speaking of healing, the next thing I learned at 27 is that emotional intelligence is underrated and rare and super important. It's underrated because not everyone takes the time to learn emotional intelligence, which that is the topic for the next episode, by the way. And I recently learned that there are 5 core, what is the 5? Hold on, let me look at this paper because I don't want to mess it up and I know what I wrote. The 5 key components of emotional intelligence. I did not know that there were an actual 5 key components, but I am learning about them. And so far, I subconsciously hit them without knowing that I hit them. Just going through the motions and healing. When you healing, you kind of doing what you need to do without even having the definition of it. And that's a beautiful thing as well. But because I was able to do that without putting a definition on it, I want to put the definitions to it to help the masses. Because some people need it broken down. Some people need a chart, which is why in the future I will have a whiteboard so I can do the Venn diagrams and things that they taught us in school, because I'm a visual learner. I'm sure other people are too. And I'm just, again, internet big sis. But okay, glitch. Glitch, okay, catch it, get it together. Let's go. Emotional intelligence is underrated and rare, even though it is super important. Being aware of your own triggers and feelings and thoughts is your own personal problem. And once I learned that, game changer. Because then that's what taught me, okay, just because they triggered me doesn't mean it needs my reaction. Why do I feel triggered by this? Why is this triggering me? What can I do to stop this trigger? And from there, you heal. You heal from the trigger. And you either get triggered less or you don't get triggered at all. It just depends on the trigger in general. And to each his own. Everyone is different. Not the second, but the last thing I learned at 27 was it's okay to not be on the same part of life as your peers. I will say at 27, that's when I really started to feel like I was behind and I needed to hurry up and do something. I need a business. I have all these ideas in my head. Why aren't I working on them? Why aren't I actively doing them? This TikTok live thing, I should have been doing this 2 years ago. There's no reason other than me stopping myself that I haven't been doing this. I should have been reaching different people that probably needed to hear me by now, but it's okay because better late than never. Delayed don't mean denied. And that's how we started the show. Literally, delayed don't mean denied. So, that being said, it is okay to be on a different pace as your peers. Right now, I can tell you for sure, there's a lot of people around me getting married, and I love that for everyone. There's a lot of people around me closing on houses. I love that. Getting new cars or paying off the car that they have. It's so much good news going around me in this negative ass world, and I just want to say congratulations to everybody that has shared good news with me thus far, for sure. And then I also want to say it's okay to congratulate and be like, I'm next. You don't have to be like, wish it was me, must be nice. That's how you self-sabotage your manifestations. Stop doing that. No bueno, muy no bueno. Now we are on 28. 28 was another turning point for me. And speaking of turning points, at the age of 25, did it just for anybody else? I ain't gonna lie, this is my first time going live, so I don't know if y'all been commenting and stuff, so I cannot see it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll definitely just figure it out. But Get it down. Oh, this is what I get for touching stuff. Okay. I always touching stuff. I was messing up. y'all ain't even saying nothing. Just watching me mess up. But no, 28. 28 was another turning point. Just like 25 and 23. But at 28, that's when I learned it's okay. It is okay, it's natural, and it is fine to outgrow old spaces, faces, and places, and habits. Faces, places, spaces, and habits. Just damn girl. Faces, spaces, places, and habits. Boom, there we go. It's okay to outgrow those things. You're not always going to want to do the things that you wanted to do when you was 20. Like, it's okay to again, it's okay to have a more refined taste over a basic palette. It's okay. Shout out to all my bougie, bougetto, sophisticated. Shout out to all of us, because it's okay to still, it's okay to want to be ratchet in the crib and get and bougie outside, upscale outside. Who cares? Like, people get talked about too much for being classy or having class. Like, if anything, I'm sorry, y'all, but walking outside in a bonnet and some pajama pants is unacceptable in my head. It's just how I was raised. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry. The second lesson for 28 is trust in the, wait, what the heck did I write? I was definitely writing fast. Trust is a multi-level ability. Sorry, y'all. I was writing in cursive and I was at work while I was writing stuff in my downtime, so I was writing kind of fast. But yeah, trust is a multi-level ability, meaning who you trust with your car may not be the same person you trust to run inside the gas station and get you a bag of chips. You may not be able to trust everybody with your kids like you would your pet hamster. You know, like, just, you can't trust everybody on the same level. Some people need a basic level of trust because that's all they know. That maybe that's all they can provide. Maybe that's all they're willing to give, and that's okay. But don't force it either. You can't force somebody to be that level of trust that you need. You may have to work your circle and figure out who you can trust with what, and go from there. Doing that causes a lot less stress, and you'll just feel better working your circle the way it should, the way it needs to be worked over. I'm getting it out. Work your circle the way it needs to be worked over how you feel it should be worked. You should be able to go to your best friend like, yeah, and so did this, but this happened. At the end of the day, I need $200. Can you give it to me? But you also know in the back of your head that your best friend is bad with money, and they may not even have $20 to add to your cause for real. Why would you even piss yourself off like that? Don't piss yourself off asking unrealistic expectations from people you know can't live up to it. Expectations and trust. I also learned that those go hand in hand in a way. Is this the second or the last lesson? No, the last lesson. I just wrote a decent amount. You cannot, fell right into it without missing a beat. You cannot expect yourself out of people. Biggest lesson that I had to learn. I know it sounds so simple. But it's a hard truth and a big pill to swallow, because if you are somebody with a big heart that naturally does for people, that naturally wants to be there for people genuinely, you do kind of expect that back from the people that you let in, especially if you call them family or a close friend. You want that back. You want that reciprocation, but you don't get it all the time, and it's okay. Not really. It's just like it's gonna be okay, but you can't expect you out of people. It once you learn that, it really does help. It really do help. So, to add to that sidebar, common sense is not common. When I was in college, I took a course. It was interpersonal communication, and they basically taught us conflict resolution and how to talk to people. That basically started my whole emotional intelligence journey. And within that class, that teacher, that professor, that lady said something that I couldn't wrap my mind around at the time. And she said, there is no such thing as common sense. And I just couldn't fathom the fact that, what do you mean there's no such thing as common sense? And when you really sit back and think about it, technically, there is no such thing as common sense nor common courtesy, especially now. So just let that sink in. So now we are at 29. Whew. At 29, this is kind of like a hard one for me, because my son is autistic and epileptic. So he comes with a lot. Like, he takes 3 medications 2 to 3 times a day on his own. He is a package, I will say. But I love my baby. And I will say our village does too, and they do a decent job. My village is definitely decent with him, for sure. It's just, I had to learn that just because they're my village, they cannot just step up and jump into my shoes. Like, again, you can't expect you out of people. It goes into that. When a seizure happens to my son, I can't expect everybody to just be like, okay, what time is it? Call the ambulance. I got him. We'll get his shoes. Go get our emergency bag. I can't do that. Like, everyone can't do that. I can direct now. The first seizure he had, I panicked hard. But after the first time, it was a wrap. I knew what to do from then. But then I also had to learn everyone is not built like that. Everyone don't react the same way, basically, to when shit get real, when it's happening. Like, you hear about it happening, you have this training, you know what to do instinctually, but you get in that situation and you freeze. I will say I've had a family member freeze on me, man. Like, she froze, and I don't blame her for freezing, but it's like, you froze. Like, you froze and my baby was seizing. Like, come on, man. Like, it's okay though. Lesson learned. It's just something you got to be in the field for. No one really prepares you. No one prepares you for it. No one. It don't happen like that. But overall, you can't depend on other people to take your parental responsibilities. It's your kid. At the end of the day, you are the first line of defense, not other people. I know that the generation before mine, they were built to where, or they had it to where, if they had to go to work, that was priority. Kids at granny house, sick and all, like, it really don't matter. That's just the culture. Work was the priority. Now it has switched to where I know me and my group of friends, Bean throwing up. Bean had a seizure at 3 a.m. Oh, work is canceled. My kid comes first no matter what. It don't matter. It really don't matter. I will figure it out in the end. God gonna bless me in the end. It's gonna get handled in the end. I'm not worried about it right now, because right now my son needs me. And I just wish that a lot more parents had that mindset, because I do see some of the younger parents getting upset. I was trying to word it in a better way. They get upset when their mom or their dad or their sister, brother don't want to watch their kid. At the end of the day, yeah, I guess you can get mad, because it depends. Like for me, I would get upset after a while, because for me, it would just be, I'm just trying to work. At one point, I was trying to get on my feet so I could take care of me and my son better. And I just wanted to work. I had been jobless for like 2-3 months, and this was my first job, and I'm carless getting to and from work. And I just wanted to work. And on top of me being carless, just wanting to work, trying to get to work, I got somebody breathing down my neck about how they don't want to watch my kid. Very stressful. And that's when it really got put into perspective for me. Above all else, my son comes first. And I can't get mad at other people for not thinking like that for me. He's not theirs. You know, I wouldn't expect somebody to treat my property better than they would treat their own, simply because it's their property. Like, I don't know. To each his own. The next thing for 29 is being equally yoked in all your relationships is so important. Oh, that's so important. When you're younger, you may think that like, oh, it's okay that, you don't have as much as me. You're not doing as much as me. I can help you up there. Yes, that is okay, and that's fine, and that's dandy for people that want to come up, for people that want that helping hand. When you want to do better, you do. When you don't, you won't. And that's just plain and simple. I've been in people's lives to where I was doing things for them, doing everything for them. Damn, borderline was their husband, okay? I stepped up and was the other parent, for sure, while parenting my own kid and doing my own thing. Like, stepped up for somebody else that couldn't even get me a ride to work if I asked them to. But you're driving my car. I can get you everywhere you want to go and then some. I can put you in every room you need to be in and then some. But you can't do the same for me. For me, once I learned that, it's hard to let people go, especially when you love them, but they gotta go. Unequally yoked relationships are no bueno. It's not, and I feel like nobody should be in one. It's somebody out here for everybody on the different levels, and you shouldn't have to deal with picking up somebody's slack that don't care to pick it up themselves. It's not fair. And expanding on that, that's when I learned that there are two types of people, that there are two classifications of people in this world, and that's assets and liabilities. And we all know what those are, and it goes farther than just stuff. A person can be an asset or a liability. For example, I had an ex, she was an asset until she wasn't. She turned into a leech. When she turned into a leech, and I'm shoveling out more than I can give myself, once I'm breaking down, all I have is $50 to my name, and I'm giving you 30 of it, not knowing what I have to do. And it's because I'm putting your problems above mine. Yes, that is a personal problem that I had to get myself together for and then move forward. And it wasn't just with her. I've had other exes do it as well. Because it's more than just, she was just a financial leech. I've had sorry. I don't think I can say that on live, but I've had motherfuckers be some emotional leeches, mental leeches, energy leeches, I literally dealt with one guy who was an energy vampire, and I never thought I'd come across one of those in real life, but it's real. Like, he thrived off negative energy, people being down and him being over them, like even in the slightest ways. Complained about how nobody helped him, and when somebody helped him, it was like, not only was it unappreciated, there was jealousy. Why are you jealous that I helped you, or someone can help you, like you're asking to be helped, but then complaining that no one's helping you in the same breath? Please make it make sense. You know what? I know the exact group of people to ask for that, and we're gonna talk about that in a different show. So yeah, and now here we are. We are at 30. We are at 30 in our last 3 lessons. It has been almost an hour going over this. So let's go ahead and finish out strong. So at 30, and by the way, I can definitely add to this list later on. I've only been 30 since September, but I feel like I've learned at least 3 lessons since then. And I know it's like quick, but y'all, this is what I discovered at 30. This is what I discovered. Healing doesn't stop. And you know what? I think the last 3 I'm going to read word for word because I wrote down some stuff. So 30. Healing doesn't stop. When things happen, they must be worked through. After healing all the old, heal the new too. You're never too old to get your feelings hurt mentally or emotionally. Let me say that better. You're never too old to get your feelings hurt, to get your emotions tied into something and be hurt, to get physically hurt. You're just not too old. There's no age limit on none of that. There's no age limit on pain. It's going to be certain situations that you have to work and heal through. And yeah, once you have healed all the way to a certain point, it does feel good. That plateau where it's like, oh I beat the odds. I beat all my inner battles and stuff. Like, I did that. Like, that plateau, it feels amazing to the point where you may not even feel yourself be hurt the next time you actually get hurt. You may not feel that it's something you have to work through because you still off that high of being healed. And I know the feeling because I've been there. Like, the ex I just mentioned, that happened like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So it was something that I needed to work through that I didn't know I needed to work through because I didn't even realize I had lost something in me during that time until I went to look for it. Shout out to Pastor Mike, because that analogy hit me like that semi called life did. I did not know what I lost within myself during that relationship until I came out of it. And one thing that energy vampire tried to suck out of me was my confidence. I had to find that back real quick. And I'm so glad it didn't take that long. But again, different episode for a different day. That's the first thing for 30. The second, I did not like how I just turned that page. That was so ugly. But the second thing is, transformation is so beautiful. I feel like I have transformed, elevated, grew, changed, whatever you want to say. I've done it all. Especially within the last couple months, I feel like my growth is every day. It's ever changing. The fact that I'm even here on this live right now doing this is crazy because this in life, since going live was a thing, I've only been live one time, and that was on Facebook to film my brother's grand march for prom back in 2017. Like, I've never just been on lab to be on lab. I never thought that I was as captivating as I know myself to be, just, a little beep beep, just a little horn beat for me. You feel me? Yo. But transformation is so beautiful, and it goes farther than a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It is really real life. Like, I know they taught us that as an analogy, but it's perfect because that's real. It is real. Real life people out here going from caterpillar to butterfly. To look up and look back, like, that was me. From a kid, that was me. Teenager, that was me. Young adult, yeah, that was me. To look back and see how far you come and appreciate it is a beautiful thing. And I wish great transformation on everyone, for sure. Because I know I love looking at the new version of myself and looking at how the old me would have handled something and going, yeah, I grew for the better, for sure. And my last lesson for this show is: your 20s are lessons learned, fun times, being young, wild, and free, and shaping up for the next and possibly best version of yourself if you let them. As I look back on my 20s, I regret nothing. I own up to everything, and I am on to bigger, better, and more blessed things. And I feel like the only person that ever stood in my way of doing just that is myself. I am my biggest drawback. I am also my biggest critic. I will dive head first into the deep end, overthinking something. And this podcast, me doing this, is something I've overthought for so long. And I thought I was going to be so nervous. I'm not going to lie, I did start off nervous. Like, who going to be on there? Like, isn't even going to be people watching me for real? Like, ain't nobody finna watch me. I'm finna be talking to myself. And I had to tell myself, okay, and if you do, because at the end of the day, it's not about the views. It's not about the numbers. It's not about who watching or what watching or how many watching, rather. I know whoever is watching, has been watching, needed it. You needed to hear it. You probably really did need to be here. And I appreciate everybody for sitting with me for an hour and letting me get this out and just giving me a really positive first experience during this whole live thing. I love it. Honestly, the show will most likely be during this time because I'm an early bird. I naturally wake up at 4 a.m. So we're gonna be dropping gems during which hours, I guess. I am going to have edited versions of the live on YouTube. I actually wanted to go live on YouTube at the same time, but I didn't know I needed 24-hour. I had to request it 24 hours prior, so I did that today. So by tomorrow it should be good, and in the next 2 weeks it should be even better. I think that's pretty much all I have for you. Again, Artist of the Week wise, shout out Krisco Beatz. This is actually him that we're listening to. Him and my boy Sheezy. Shout out Sheezy. He also hails from Gary, Indiana. Shout out Gary, Indiana. That is where I'm from. Please don't say nothing bad about it in the comments. We don't do Gary slander here. We actually had like a couple more songs left to the playlist, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the last one so we can go ahead and conclude the show. Again, the overall tone of the show was 30 for 30. I dropped 30 gems and have fun doing it. I appreciate everybody for watching once more. And before I sign off officially, I just want to leave you with one last final piece of advice. One thing I'm going to say at the end of the show all the time is the ABCs. A, aim for it and go get it. B, be better in your efforts to get it. C, claim it and conquer, because at the end of the day, you winning. So again, I'm Airi J. This has been Airi Speaks. I'm out of here.
That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30.